The Titans taking the field a moment ago. They're ready for football as their Titans are set to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in week 4. From a yard or two deep here. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And the Colts pick it up. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
6 yards left on 2nd down. On the handoff, Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Now for the point after. Footing likely going to be an issue all night here on a rainy night, but this one is good.
7, Titans, nothing.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Well, this defense for the Colts, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, trust me on this one. That's a confidence builder for the rest of the season. When you get a defense that puts together a performance like that this early in the year, well, that sends notice to the rest of the NFL and spreads confidence throughout the locker room that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Charles, when you talk about free safeties, I think one word comes to mind, range. And we saw an example of a rangy free safety right there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And if you look at the next-gen stats, you'll see that he topped out at an even 21 miles an hour. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3. At the 12.
They'll look to throw here. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
They'll drop to throw. Touchdown! That's caught. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Colts are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Chubb will get the call running left. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Now Lawrence. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check. Check 52.
They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's get on the field, D. Let's get it.
Throw right side, caught by Davis. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down at the Colts 25.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. Bulldozes past him. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
The first red zone opportunity for the Titans. 1st and 10 right at the 20. A give. This is Chubb. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And now they'll throw it with Lawrence. And he slings one that's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Lawrence now off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Hunter Henry, his first touchdown on the year. And the Titans have made this a one-score game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. They'll set up a throw. That is caught by Lamb. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
1st and 10, Taylor now. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. This will be swung out wide for Taylor. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. The offense has to love that, because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Taylor is going to take this one in for a Colts touchdown. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and it's now 21-7. Taken in at the 3. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And that's just a solid, good physical run there as he motors for 9 yards.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 56 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Julian Love picks it. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 23. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And they're going to have this all the way down deep into Tennessee territory. A big play there on the catch and run. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Handoff comes to Chubb. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line. And now will they use a timeout? Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Open man Lamb. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
They'll run on first down. Taylor. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They'll set up to throw. Dancing to his left. Able to hit his target, Lamb. Shifts by him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
He'll check this one down to Taylor. Touchdown, Colts! Jonathan Taylor, a 24-yard touchdown. And the Colts take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get...
And that's caught inside the 35. And it's a Titans touchdown. Corey Davis, 83 yards. And the Titans are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
Titans 14.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. Taking it about the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 78 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now back to throw. Over the middle, held in by Lamb. Touchdown, Indianapolis. CeeDee Lamb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3. And again, it's Chubb. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. On 1st down, it's Taylor, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he is going to have a Colts 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
A big connection on that one. 34 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Chubb on the counter. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw there complete to Hamler.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Here's Chubb on the read option. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On play action, Lawrence. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end, and unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 87 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Now Taylor. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
It's a gain of 3. First down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And tackled down after a gain of 3, leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. A big offensive explosion.